Good evening and welcome to this special broadcast. For the past 13-14 hours, we are running a program called And the Winner Is. Usually what happens is that by now we know who the winner is and the winner also knows, and people start moving to the next step, which is deciding who is going to be the cabinet minister, when the oath-taking ceremony is going to take place. None of this is true in the case of Bihar. If you ask me, and the winner is, we will unfortunately have to say, you will have to wait a little longer. Such is this election. What a nail-biter, what a cliffhanger as far as Bihar is concerned. Let's quickly tell you the key breaking news stories, the top developments as far as the Bihar cliffhanger is concerned. The RJD Congress have approached the Election Commission over the delay in handing over of the certificates. This is a movement which is happening right now, breaking right now on election eve, on the polling, counting eve. Then RJD and Congress, on the counting night, beg your pardon. RJD has accused Nitish administration for the delay. This is development number 2. This has happened just now. Then, of course, there are statements coming in from Asauddin Owaisi, who has won a surprise 5 in the Bihar elections. He says that he will decide whom to support later. Can Owaisi's MIM be the kingmaker in Bihar, given these circumstances, given these numbers? Extremely significant. You must also know that even now, 9% vote count is still left. We still do not have the result. 9% of the votes are yet to be counted. So that's another key development in the Bihar cliffhanger. RJD has also released just a short while ago a list of 119 undeclared winning candidates. They have said that the returning officer at various places did come out, congratulate these people in person, and then went back and never handed the winning certificate to them. Why is that so? And then the Election Commission, in just a short moment from now, is likely to make a crucial announcement. This is the 3rd press conference by the Election Commission. Again, absolutely unprecedented. And now Shahnawaz Hussain has said that there is an attempt by the BJP to stifle democracy. The Election Commission's 3rd press conference begins now.
देने के लिए पुनः आयोग की टीम आपके सामने प्रस्तुत है। सबसे पहले तो मैं आयोग की तरफ से इस बात को साफ कर देना चाहता हूं कि आयोग के सभी अधिकारी और पूरी मशीनरी बहुत ही मुस्तैदी से, पूरी मेहनत से निर्वाचन की समस्त प्रक्रियाओं को पूरी तरह से ठीक ढंग से समझ के उस तरह से ये मतगणना का कार्य करा रही है। आयोग कभी भी किसी के दबाव में नहीं रहा है और जो भी प्रक्रियाएं हैं, पहले भी जैसा कहा है कि पूरी प्रोसीजर को फॉलो करके उसमें नेचुरल कोर्स में जो भी टाइम लग रहा है उस पे ये चुनाव के रिजल्ट का कार्य किया जाएगा। काफी संख्या में अंतिम नतीजे प्राप्त हो गए हैं। बचे हुए विधानसभा निर्वाचन क्षेत्रों के लिए अंतिम कुछ ही चरणों का मतदान कार्य शेष रह गया, जिसे त्वरित गति से किया जा रहा है और जो अंतिम चरणों में जो भी प्रक्रियाओं के पालन करने की आवश्यकता पड़ेगी उसे आयोग के अधिकारीगण, रिटर्निंग ऑफिसर्स, आयोग के पर्यवेक्षकों के देखरेख में इसको अंजाम देंगे। विशेष रूप से जो एक समस्या कई बार आती है कि जो मार्जिन है और बहुत कम मार्जिन है, वो यदि पोस्टल बैलेट के जो रिजेक्टेड वोट्स हैं उनसे कम रहता है तो फिर वो उसको गिनती करने के लिए कैंडिडेट मांग कर सकते हैं और उस दिशा में जो रिटर्निंग ऑफिसर है उसको काउंट करेंगे। तो वो ऐसी स्थिति कुछ जगहों पे ही आ सकती है जहां पे कि मार्जिन बहुत कम है और ये जो पोस्टल बैलेट रिजेक्टेड होंगे वो उसको फिर से गिनने की जरूरत पड़ेगी और जो भी छोटी मोटी और समस्याएं हैं उसको वहां पे ऑब्जर्वर्स अपनी देखरेख में उसको निपटाते हुए उस मतगणना कार्य को कराएंगे। जैसा कि उम्मीद है कि ये अब कुछ ही चरणों के चुनाव शेष हैं। ज्यादातर जो देखा गया है करीब 17 स्थानों पर 5 से कम चरणों का चुनाव बचा है। कुछ जगहों पे 10 से ज़्यादा हैं, लेकिन उनकी संख्या बहुत कम है। और अभी जो लेटेस्ट आंकड़े हैं वो चूंकि बहुत डायनेमिक है, इसीलिए हर राउंड का चुनाव के नतीजे आते जा रहे हैं। उसकी सूचना अभी हमारे साथी अधिकारी आपके सामने प्रस्तुत करेंगे। जहां तक उपचुनावों के नतीजों का प्रश्न है, छत्तीसगढ़, गुजरात, हरियाणा, झारखंड, कर्नाटक, मणिपुर, नागालैंड, तेलंगाना और उत्तर प्रदेश के नतीजे आ चुके हैं। उड़ीसा की 1 सीट और मध्य प्रदेश की 8 सीट के लिए भी अंतिम चरण में ये मतगणना की स्थिति है। मैं और ज्यादा बिहार के बारे में जानकारी देने के लिए मैं अपने साथी चंद्रभूषण जी से कहूंगा कि वे डिटेल इसके बारे में बताएं।
जी, नमस्कार दोस्तों। जैसा कि ये विदित होगा कि हमारे यहाँ जो है काउंटिंग की प्रक्रिया बड़ी जोर शोर से चल रही है और अपने वेबसाइट के हिसाब से अगर मैं देख रहा हूं तो उसके हिसाब से अभी तक 146 सीटों के नतीजे जो है वो डिक्लेयर हो चुके हैं और 97 जो है वहां के ट्रेंड्स जो है वो दिए गए हुए हैं। अभी 1 घंटे पहले एक पर्टिकुलर सोशल मीडिया में एक मैसेज आया था कि किसी पार्टी के द्वारा कि उसमें 119 सीट किसी एक पर्टिकुलर पार्टी के लिए जीतने के बारे में बात की गई थी। मैं यहाँ ये लगभग 1 घंटे पहले की बात थी। आप हमारा वेबसाइट पब्लिक डोमेन में है और आप सभी अच्छे तरीके से उसको बार बार देख भी रहे होंगे और आप समझ रहे होंगे इसमें कि जो जीत जो है वो अभी जो दिखाई जा रही है वो कुल 146 है, कुल 243 सीटों में, और 97 सीटों में रुझान जो है वो दिखाए हुए हैं और ये फैक्चुअल सिचुएशन है उस चीज को लेकर के। जो रीकाउंट की बात या जो बात कहीं कहीं आ रही है उसमें सिर्फ इतना है, मैं आपको कमीशन का 18 मई 2019 का एक इंस्ट्रक्शन है, उसकी लाइन मैं पढ़ के एक बार सुना देता हूं। Where the margin of victory is less than the number of postal ballot papers rejected as invalid at the time of counting, all the rejected postal ballot papers shall be mandatorily, I repeat, mandatorily re-verified by the returning officer before declaration of result. Whenever such re-verification is done, the entire proceeding should be videographed as per instructions of commission. So this is the existing instruction issued on 18th May 2019. So wherever जहां कहीं भी ऐसी कोई सिचुएशन बनती है जिसमें कि मार्जिन ऑफ विक्ट्री जो है अगर वो पोस्टल बैलेट जो इनवैलिड डिक्लेयर हुआ है, रिजेक्ट हुआ है, अगर उससे कम है तो उसमें ये रीवेरिफिकेशन का कार्य जो है रिटर्निंग ऑफिसर के द्वारा मैंडेटरीली किया जाएगा। इसके अलावा जो बात है हमारे यहाँ जो है राउंड की गिनती बड़ी तेजी से हर जगह चल रही है और जैसा कि आप देख रहे होंगे ये संख्या जहां पे अब गिनती जो है कुछ ही चरणों में बाकी है वो बहुत ही डायनेमिक है, जैसा कि हमारे महासचिव महोदय ने ऑलरेडी आप लोगों को बताया है। तो जैसे जैसे इसके नतीजे आते रहेंगे वैसे वैसे आप तक ये पूरी जानकारी पहुंचती रहेगी और ये अगर ये भी कमीशन का आदेश है कि हम लोग हो सकता है एक बार और पुनः मध्यरात्रि के आसपास अगर मिलने की जरूरत पड़ेगी तो हम लोग पुनः हाजिर होंगे फाइनल अपडेट लेकर के आप लोगों के पास इस चीज के बारे में। थैंक यू।
एक प्रश्न है जो कि हिंदी में उसका जवाब आयोग के अधिकारी दे चुके हैं, लेकिन क्योंकि वो सवाल अंग्रेजी में भी पूछा गया है तो मैं वो सवाल अंग्रेजी में भी पढ़ देता हूं और मेरा रिक्वेस्ट रहेगा कि अंग्रेजी में भी
crucial points that have been mentioned in the third press conference of the Election Commission, and this night is long because the Election Commission says that it is going to make itself available at 12 midnight as well if the need be for a fourth press conference on this counting, on the Bihar counting. Some very important points. It has clarified that there will be some seats where recounting is going to take place, and it has also specified, as far as the EC rules are concerned, what are the conditions for recounting. Wherever the margin of victory is less than the postal ballots rejected, that is where a mandatory recounting is going to take place. And for all those people who are complaining that they've not got their winning certificate, if these seats fall in this criteria, they will not get their certificate, because there will be an automatic recounting which will now be done in the presence of a video camera. So that's the point that the Election Commission seems to be making. He's also said to the RJD, because they released a list of 119 candidates in their complaint, the Election Commission says that they must have patience because the results have only been declared on 146 seats. They have not been declared on all the seats. That is why this delay, because this counting process is on. They're saying that 5 rounds of counting is left for the 17 seats. Let me introduce all the reporters tracking this development right here on NDTV. We've got Alok Pandey, we have Akhilesh Sharma, we've got Manish Kumar, as well as from the national headquarters of the BJP, Arvind Gunasekhar, as well as Saurabh Shukla. Thank you very much. It's been an extremely long day for Team NDTV, but this is an unusual election where counting is still on and the suspense very much is still on. Akhilesh Sharma, let me first come to you. A word on the Election Commission press conference, Akhilesh, and then after that, what exactly has been the response of the Bharatiya Janata Party? I believe there was a press conference also, late night press conference. Akhilesh.
Been very particular, especially in the Bihar Assembly counting. They have been very forthcoming with the facts. This is the third press conference which they addressed just now. And as you told that if the need arises, then the fourth and the final press conference can also take place at midnight. So the Election Commission is sensitive to the criticism and they are trying to address all the issues. They have already made it very clear that since the corona situation is there, that is why extra precautions have been taken. And 67% extra EVMs have been provided this time. Normally, a polling booth has around 1,500 voters, but this time the number of the voters has come down to 1,000. That is why there are more polling booths, and that is why there are more EVMs. That is why it is taking longer time to count all the votes. As he has mentioned very clearly that the counting is almost at the final stages now, and 148 Assembly's results have been finalized. So this addresses the question raised by the RJD, where they released the so-called list of 119 seats.
I'm sorry to cut you short. Manoj Jha, who led a delegation to the Election Commission, is now speaking again. Let's listen in. I think this must be his 10th press conference.
आशा बिहार को है, मेरी व्यक्तिगत बात छोड़ दीजिए। बिहार ने बदलाव के लिए वोट किया था। अगर ये प्रशासन के माध्यम से उस बदलाव को पर बांध बांधने की कोशिश करेंगे ना, तो वो चूहे वाला बांध बनाएंगे।
किस चीज का डर है? कौन बड़े साहब हैं?
बिल्कुल
नहीं, नीतीश बाबू को किस बात का डर है कि
ये काम चुनाव आयोग का है। नहीं, ये काम चुनाव आयोग का है। अनुसंधान का काम मैं नहीं करता।
उनको किस बात का डर है कि ये सब बातें की जा रही हैं?
देखिए, नीतीश जी को डर तो बहुत सारी चीजों का है, लेकिन अभी सबसे बड़ा डर है जो आक्रोश उन्होंने जनता के बीच देखा है ना। मैं समझता हूं कि ये न प्रकार जो कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि कुर्सी को चौथी बार पौवा पकड़ लें, होगा नहीं। No, we'll wait for the final results. We have whole trust. No. Our Election Commission has assured us that they'll go by seat to seat and try to address all our grievances. And we trust the Election Commission, but we don't trust the district administration.
फाइनल रिजल्ट तो हमारे करीब मनोज जी
देखिए
क्या शिकायत की है
फाइनल
रिजल्ट?
All right, that was Manoj Jha. He just met the Election Commission commissioner, and now he has in fact come out. He has held a press conference again. Akhilesh, if you could just wait for a few moments. Manish Kumar, let's go across to him. He's waving. I believe he has some information. Yes, Manish.
Yes, I have with me Sanjay Singh, Chief Spokesman of Janata Dal United. संजय जी, अभी इलेक्शन कमीशन की ब्रीफिंग हुई है। उन्होंने कहा है कि जहां भी रीपोलिंग के रीकाउंटिंग की जरूरत होगी, रीकाउंटिंग कराएंगे। और मनोज झा का अभी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस हुआ है। उन्होंने चुनाव आयोग को जाके एक मेमोरेंडम दिया है कि जहां पे उनके उम्मीदवार जीत गए हैं, वहां भी रिजल्ट जो है उनको सर्टिफिकेट नहीं दिया जा रहा है, और ये सीएम आवास से अधिकारियों के प्रेशर में ऐसा हो रहा है। आपकी क्या प्रतिक्रिया है?
देखिए, काने का मन आंख में गरल खुट्टी हम लोग कहावत है। हार स्वीकार करना चाहिए, हार का ठिकरा प्रशासन के ऊपर नहीं देना चाहिए। ये 15 साल में जब इनका राज था तो सीएम हाउस से चुनाव में जो तांडव करते थे वो याद ताजा कर रहे अपने लिए। हम लोग ये काम नहीं करते। निष्पक्ष चुनाव होता है, हम ना किसी को यहाँ से कोई टेलीफोन जाता है। अगर ऐसा होता तो आरजेडी के कई एक नेता 300,000 वोट से जीते, तो वहाँ भी हम हरवा देते। ये देखिए हार का बौखलाहट है। हार में ये लोग इस तरह का बात बोल रहे हैं, खिसियानी बिल्ली खम्मा नोचे।
ये रिजल्ट जो आया है और ये कहा जा रहा है कि अब आपकी पार्टी जो है तीसरे नंबर की पार्टी है, क्या नीतीश कुमार मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे या डिक्लाइन करेंगे?
देखिए, राष्ट्रीय जनतांत्रिक गठबंधन के घोषित उम्मीदवार नीतीश कुमार जी थे बिहार के मुख्यमंत्री के लिए। नीतीश कुमार जी के चेहरे पर वोट मांगा गया, तो निश्चित तौर पर नीतीश कुमार जी मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे। इसमें फकर बट का कोई सवाल ही नहीं उठता है। बिहार के जनता ने, लोकतंत्र में जनता मालिक होता, मालिक ने जनादेश नीतीश कुमार जी के नाम पर दिया। नीतीश कुमार जी बिल्कुल मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे।
ये जो रिजल्ट है ये आप लोगों के लिए मतलब आपके एक्सपेक्टेशन के अनुसार है या उससे कम है?
कम है, उससे कम है, लेकिन हम लोग फिर बैठेंगे, हम लोग को पार्टी का शीर्ष नेतृत्व बैठेंगे, कहाँ हम पीछे गए हैं इस पर हम लोग विचार करेंगे।
आप ये मानते हैं कि चिराग पासवान ने आपके उम्मीदवारों को हराने का काम किया और साथ ही साथ बीजेपी के उम्मीदवारों को जिताने में भी उनकी एक भूमिका रही?
अब उनका क्या भूमिका रहा है, क्या वो कर रहे थे, उनका दल अलग था, वो एनडीए में नहीं थे। अब वो जो करना करे, अपना हंस।
आपकी टैली इतनी कम क्यों है? आप लोगों के इतने कम उम्मीदवार बीजेपी की तुलना में क्यों जीते?
ये हम कम जीते हैं, हम स्वीकार करते हैं, लेकिन जब हम लोग बैठेंगे इस पर हम लोग फैसला लेंगे क्यों हारे।
So Sanket, this was Sanjay Singh who said that we will, sit and we will, review our performance. Of course, the results has been below our expectation, but somewhere now they are satisfied that they are going to cross the majority mark of 122.
Okay.
Sanket.
Okay, right. Thank you very much, Manish Kumar, for joining us with all the latest. Now, I would like to welcome a special guest. The AIMIM's Asauddin Owaisi is now with us. Mr. Owaisi, good evening. Sanket here. First of all, congratulations. The fact that this performance from the MIM, a lot was being said against your party, that you are B team, C team, D team. A lot had been said about you, that you were eating into the opposition space. You've been able to prove that, you've got 5 seats. This is no mean feat. I want to know from you, what was your expectation and what role do you see yourself playing in Bihar, in Bihar's government formation?
Well, as far as these allegations are concerned, people who make such allegations, they are trying to hide their frustration and ability and political incapacity, because they are in this sad habit of, if victory happens to them, they blame it on one family, and if defeat comes to them, which has become a continuous affair, they try to blame a Muslim whose name is Asauddin Owaisi. So that doesn't bothers me. As far as what my role in Bihar, my party's role in Bihar is concerned, we started our political journey 5 years ago in Bihar. We didn't win any seat out of the 6 we contested 5 years ago, but we have been consistently working in Bihar, raising the underdevelopment of Seemanchal area, which is the country's most backward region. We have been raising those issues. I have also personally, submitted a private member's bill for the Regional Development Council for Seemanchal on the basis of Article 371E. So, and we continue to ensure that our demand is basically that Seemanchal should develop and prosper as Patna or Nalanda or Gaya and Darbhanga has prospered and developed. That unfortunately has not happened, and so that is why this fight for Seemanchal, justice for Seemanchal will continue. And of course, this is quite heartwarming, and I know it's a very humbling experience that people of Seemanchal have blessed us, and I'm thankful to them. In fact, I don't have any words, but definitely we'll take it forward. We'll want to strengthen our party more in Bihar, and that we'll do.
Yeah, Mr. Owaisi, see, you contested this election together in an alliance with RLSP and the BSP, right? So are you going to decide on the future course of action also together as an alliance? Or do we expect Mr. Owaisi to decide separately and Ms. Mayawati to decide separately? Would you like to tell us a little about it?
No. To be very honest, the credit should go to Mr. Upender Kushwaha, because he was the one who had alliance with BSP. Our party had done an alliance with Mr. Devendra Yadav, Samajwadi Janata Dal. It was Mr. Upendra Kushwaha who got all of us together for the Bihar Assembly elections. And definitely this victory of MIM, the credit must also be given to RLSP, Bahujan Samaj Party and Devendra Prasad and Mr. Rajgar also. So as far as taking it forward is concerned, I know I don't know what will happen in future, but definitely everywhere I feel that the minorities and the weaker section should come together, and only time will tell what happens in the future.
A lot was said, Mr. Owaisi, about the opposition not being united, that an Owaisi was not in the same Mahagathbandhan as the RJD or the Congress or the other political parties. You see, the strike rate of the left has been very good. They have been beneficiaries of this Mahagathbandhan. Do you think that had you been part of a larger coalition of the opposition, you would have been far more successful in maybe even a shot at power? I know you don't like this question.
No. You see, this is like doing a postmortem. In politics, you learn from mistakes. Now it is for you to decide who committed a mistake. But as far as I am concerned, our Bihar State President, Mr. Akhtarul Iman, went and personally met each and important leaders of the political parties to have an alliance, but no one was ready to touch us, even with a barge pole. So now that is the fact of the matter. So it is wrong to blame us. It is, this question of yours should be answered.
No, so you're saying that parties like RJD and Congress and CPML, this Mahagathbandhan treated you and other smaller parties like an outcast, and that's why. Well, you see, Akhtarul Iman Sahib went and met each and every one. In not only that, Akhtarul Iman Sahib went and met each and every important Muslim leaders, because at the drop of the hat they say, why are you contesting? So we went and met. We said, okay, we're ready. Please, you ensure this. But it didn't materialize. And but as far as why it didn't happen, I cannot answer that. But I am on record telling you that we did try for it, and it didn't happen. Now, Mr. Owaisi, you say that you want to do good for the Simanchal region, right? Now, how can you do good for people if you are not in power? Can you hear me, Mr. Owaisi? I believe you are having some problem.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah, my question is, you say that you want to do good for the people of Simanchal, the people you are going to represent, your MLAs are going to represent. The best way to do this is to be in power, right? Only then you can make some change. Now, if there is a situation where the arithmetic suggests that an Owaisi is required, the MIM's support is required and is essential to do good to the Simanchal region, will you then support this alliance or not, the Mahagathbandhan?
See, let me answer the first part of your question, that one has to be in power to develop a particular assembly constituency. I want to inform you that is completely rubbish, because when people of that particular constituency vote for you, they expect that elected representative to work for the overall development of that constituency. And our party in Telangana, we have never been in power. When you say power, being part of the government, being a minister, or all those glamour which comes with it. You have 6
wide belief which is there in the Bihar Act when flood comes. Now, if you don't develop your constituency, what is the point of you being in power? All these people who lost against our candidates, they were in power. They became ministers. What have they done? So that is very important. And as far as what happened, let us wait for the final results to come, and then we'll decide. But be rest assured that our MLAs will aggressively fight for the development of Simanchal. They will not sit in an assembly only as bystanders, but they will be raising voices.
I know, Mr. Owaisi, you're a barrister. It's extremely hard to extract a question which is, or an answer which you do not want to answer. But let me give it a shot once again. Who all are the political untouchables for Mr. Owaisi in Bihar, as far as the parties are concerned?
Well,
BJP, JDU?
Well, the biggest untouchable is sitting in front of you. So what can I...
Oh, come on.
Yeah, that's the biggest... Yeah,
right now, with 5 MLAs, trust me, you are anything but untouchable.
No, I don't... See, let me be very clear in telling you that until the last vote is counted and you and me come to know that which party has got how many MLAs, that in itself will dictate the path towards who will form the government. I cannot sit here and speculate, and neither has any political party contacted me. And let me also tell you very clearly that our party's observer, Mr. Majid Hussain, who have been very consistently working in Bihar from last 5 years, have categorically stated that as far as MIM is concerned, we will not compromise on true secularism. We will not compromise on true secularism concerned, and will continue to fight for Seemanchal. That is the party's official stand. And if you go back in time, my parliamentary interventions as a member of parliament, we have always opposed BJP. Whether it's 370, CAA, triple talaq, we have been opposing BJP. So now this is what I have to tell you at this point, and
so
we have to
I think you've made it very easy for me to deduct from what you're saying. If a BJP is ruled out because they're, I think, the second largest party, and their alliance is within distance of forming a government. So if it is not BJP, then obviously it's the other side. I mean, I can only draw this natural deduction from what you're saying.
Well, I cannot stop a TV anchor from deducting whatever she desires. You know, that is your fundamental right.
Sure.
But what I have to answer, I've answered to you.
Sure. All right, Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi, thank you so much, and congratulations once again.
Thank you.
All right. So that was Asaduddin Owaisi, who has sprung up a surprise with 5 MLAs. This is for the first time that the MIM has performed this well. Lots of first-timers who have done well in this election, and they've had a good strike rate. But in a situation like this, where does Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi see himself? Could he now become the kingmaker? Remember, he just alleged that he wanted an alliance with many of these parties, and they treated him like an untouchable. So which way is he going to go? That's very, very interesting. He has left the door ajar. We're stopping for a short break at this moment. When we come back, we'll go back to all our reporters getting us all the latest details. We also have Mr. R.K. Sinha of the BJP and Supriya Shrinate of the Congress Party to know what exactly is going to happen. Any post-mortem that should be done just now, or should we wait for the results to be complete? All that and much more in this action-packed edition. Do stay with us. All right, Mr. R.K. Sinha of the BJP and Supriya Shrinate of the Congress Party are with us. Mr. Sinha, let me come to you now. These results are still trickling in. It's still not over. In a situation like this, you know, apart from those basic questions, I want to ask you, how would you respond to the allegations now of delay, deliberate in nature, that is being alleged by the Congress as well as the RJD? Mr. Sinha.
I don't think that the complaint has any basis. It shows the frustration of the RJD and Congress. Election Commission has done good job, and in Corona situation, they have increased the number of booths, they have increased the number of counting halls, they have maintained social distancing, and naturally, when you have larger number of voters, larger number of ballot papers, EVM machines, it will definitely take some more time, And I don't think that now only a few rounds are left.
Yeah.
And
9% of
very
the votes are
few
left.
constituency are also left. So I don't think that there's any justification of complaining or creeping on that.
No, but then Mr. Sinha, what do you make
Whatever-
of this? What do you make of this situation where on at least 10 to 15 seats, the difference between the victor and the loser is less than 500? In fact, there were some seats where I saw in live counting, the difference was 19, 28, 198, 320.
In all such cases, Election Commission set standard rules, provide the loser to demand a recounting. There is no problem in that. But there is no basis of any complaint. You know, Election Commission in India is a very well recognized independent constitutional body.
Yeah.
And I think that all over the world, even better than American election machinery, which all 50 states has 50 rules and 50 type of counting and 50 type of rule systems. The Election Commission of India has to be respected.
No, nobody is disrespecting the Election Commission. I haven't heard once from the RJD or the Congress saying that they disrespect the Election Commission. Let's in fact, Supriya, before I come to you, let's go full frame to these graphics. These are seats with narrow margins. And ladies and gentlemen, this graphic itself is a description of what the problem is as far as this election is concerned. What is the reason why there is so much delay? Well, this graphic is the reason. Look at the number of constituencies: Hilsa, Chhapra, Barbiga, Ara, Ramgarh, Mahishi, Methani, Madhepura, Bhore, Dehri, and more such, where look at the vote margin between the victor and the loser. 13, 13, 56, 113, 121, 189, 204, which means one round of voting and then suddenly there is a possibility of things flipping. To this I want to ask you a question, Supriya. You know, the entire campaign was pegged on an anti-incumbency. When you look at these numbers of such a close contest, this doesn't hint at an anti-incumbency. It may hint at a strong performance by the opposition, but certainly not anti-incumbency. Supriya.
I mean, the JDU in its stronghold of Bhojpur has lost 32 odd seats. So if that's not anti-incumbency, I wonder what is. Of course, other factors at play where the BJP was trying to constantly cut the JDU to size by using the LJP and having a tripartite agreement with Mr. Owaisi, who was just on your show waxing eloquence, is another factor. But the reality is that this was an election fought on real issues. And if these seats are any indication to go by, there needs to be, I mean, I'm not a sore loser. I am not casting any aspersions, but there needs to be absolute fairness and justification. The district administration cannot be cast aspersions at. They need to act in complete faith in consonance with the Constitution of India. If a party, if the RJD has raised this issue, this needs to be looked into, is my simple point. The only takeaway from me, Sanket, at the end of this very long day is going to be that the Bihar election was fought on real issues. No matter what the verdict, those issues are here to stay. Whether it is joblessness, whether it's high prices, whether it's development, crime against women, these issues are going to be center stage as far as the political narrative is concerned.
Okay, but then what do you make of the performance of the Congress party? I mean, we'll talk about the Mahagathbandhan later. See, because the strike rate of the left seems to be very good. The RJD at 77 is down 3 points. Of course, situation is changing. But the Congress, which contested on 70 seats, is only and only leading in 17 as of this moment. This figure may change. Or 19, beg your pardon, 19. Of 70, only leading in 19. I mean, that's not a good strike rate. In fact, that's
I mean,
a very
we would
bad
have definitely wanted this to be better, and there is no doubt about that. We would have wanted to perform better. But the reality also is, Sanket, and obviously this gives us room for introspection. This gives us room to strengthen our organization, to look at booths. This gives us room for introspection and to act upon absolutely.
I'll tell you what. We spoke to Mr. Owaisi, Supriya. We just spoke to him and he said that I approached each and every individual to enter into a larger alliance and the doors were shut. Obviously, he was hinting at the RJD, Congress, CPI-ML, Mahagathbandhan. Now, do you think that had the Congress from its 70 being slightly large-hearted to allow and accommodate an MIM, you would have been in a much better position to, in a consolidated way, present yourself as a unified unified force, unified alliance?
Let me finish that earlier point, and I will answer your question in the same breath. The
Sure.
earlier point that I was making is, yes, it does give us a lot of room for introspection, but the reality also is, without nitpicking on the alliance, these were some very, very tough seats. The RJD had actually won just 2 out of those 70 seats, and the reality is that these were a lot of those seats were the strongholds of the NDA, were going to be difficult to win. We knew it from the very beginning. It does give us room for introspection, but please cut us some slack here. As far as Mr. Owaisi and his outrageous claims here on NDTV and elsewhere are concerned, I'm seeing today, he has continued to be the unsaid ally of the BJP. Like in the past, it continues in Bihar. He has continued to play to the tunes. He has continued to try and polarize. And look at how he has hurt the Mahagathbandhan. And today he comes down the shows and says, I had approached everybody. That's not true.
What if he says that I did and my alliance was rejected? Because right now you call him a B team, C team or whatever, right? But then he says that I wanted to be a part of your team.
By what? By playing the team B of the BJP? I mean, his behavior has been suspect for very long.
No, so
his behavior has been one where he has
deny
aided the
him
BJP
having
in the
approached
past.
the Mahagathbandhan? Do you deny this?
Sorry?
Do you deny the fact that he ever approached the Mahagathbandhan for an alliance? Because he claims he did.
I'm not going to
You said
comment on
no.
something that I don't have first-hand information on, but I do know that his behavior has been suspect in the past. I am going to restrict my comments to the fact that his behavior has been suspect to the extent where it seems he's aiding the BJP.
Sure.
And we will not be, and which is perhaps one of the reasons why we were never in alliance with him.
Sure. Now, Mr. Sinha, let me now come back to you. See, the manner in which these results are unfolding, both the Mahagathbandhan and the NDA are above 110. They are hovering around the 113, 120, 122, 115 mark, right? Obviously, you're both above 110. In a situation like this, do you think that this is an exact replica of a Madhya Pradesh result?
I would not say whether it is replica or not, but it's a very close fight, and the voting percentage of the NDA and Mahagathbandhan both is in the range of 37-38%. So it is very fine as election, and till last round it matters. It happens very few times in past, but
you tell me, I know it's hypothetical right now. See, because if the NDA figure right now is 122, which means you have hit the majority mark. Now, say if this juggernaut stops at somewhere around 115, if it stays between the 115 and 120 mark, then in that situation, what do? I mean, will you stake claim? As of this moment, in this situation, does the BJP stake claim to form the government?
When we approach the bridge, then we will cross it.
No, the bridge is right here, sir.
No, it's not. Let the assembly be notified and let us see that who all are there.
Okay.
And then if there is a requirement, then we will.
And will Mr. Nitish Kumar remain your face?
There is no requirement.
Because the central BJP leadership made a commitment to Mr. Nitish Kumar that whatever the result may be, you will remain our chief minister.
Yes.
Does he remain the chief minister?
Yes.
Will you accept a leader with 42 MLAs as the chief minister? Whereas
yes,
your party has 72?
Yes. We have already declared him the Chief Minister.
No. Will you?
Yes.
I'm asking my question again, Mr. Sinha. Will you accept a leader with 42 MLAs as the Chief Minister, and you will be in a supporting role with 72 MLAs as of this moment?
It doesn't matter. When party has decided, when NDA has announced that he is our chief ministerial face, then we are not going to back out.
Well, Uddhav Thackeray said the same thing in Maharashtra. Supriya, I'm sure you remember Uddhav Thackeray said that in person I was also given this commitment that you will be chief minister. At that time the BJP said, how can that happen? How can that happen? We are the majority player. We are the bigger party.
I will only remind Mr. Sinha of and the viewers of a few things. The Sena, the Shiromani Akali Dal, the LJP, and now it seems Nitish Kumar are going to all be victims of the unabashed ambition that the BJP has to be in control. And they have to learn their lessons themselves. If Nitish Kumar thinks he is going to be an equal partner and be in the driver's seat, after having been cut to size very decisively by the BJP itself, are you telling me that the LJP could have gone ahead and done to the JDU what they have done in the Bhojpur region, which is reduced 32 of their seats without the blessings of the BJP? They're going to find themselves in a tight spot. Good luck to Mr. Nitish Kumar.
Well, RJD and Congress has had a truck with Nitish Kumar in 2015. There's every possibility of you wooing him again. I mean, again, follow the Maharashtra model.
We have fought this election against the National Democratic Alliance, against the misrule and misgovernance of Mr. Nitish Kumar, aided and supported by the misgovernance of the BJP. And I think the numbers tell us a story that the issues that we have raised continue to resonate on the ground, and we will continue to raise those issues.
But picture abhi baki hai, as they say, because the counting is still on. 9% votes yet to be counted. Lots of action, lots of drama happening. If you believe the Election Commission, there will be a fourth press conference. I mean, unprecedented and unheard of.
Long day for all of you.
Long day. Supriya, thank God you're not
a journalist.
You're not a journalist right now. You're on the other side. So, yeah, but it's a long day for you as well. But thank you so much, Supriya, as well as Mr. R.K. Sinha, for joining us. Our non-stop broadcast, though, will continue right here on NDTV. Stay with us.